Okay, we are rolling. Champions of Champions Boxing Talk is back. I just fancied a chat, shall we say, with myself. Don't worry, I do this all the time. The neighbours look at me very strangely. They say, "Who's that guy that talks to himself?" I said, "I don't know, but it's some maniac that sprouts the sweet science to the spirits. Deontay Wilder style." I am a human being normally, but when I talk about boxing, my alter ego comes in, and I become someone else. I become Champions of Champions Boxing Talk. The sweet science bomber. No. Anyway, enough of that. Yeah, someone said to me that when I talk on boxing groups and when I do these videos, it's like two different people, because you really can't put YouTube videos out and give truly what you feel about things, because the video will never see the light of day. Anyway, some significant stuff. And it's to do with Mr. Pacquiao, isn't it? First of all, Manny Pacquiao now has signed, apparently, with Al Heyman. I'm not really behind the news because I'm not really one that talks about speculation and all of that stuff. I sort of get to the point when it's signed and done, to be honest with you. There's a lot of people running around saying, "Oh my God, I can't believe it. Manny Pacquiao was signed for the other side." There is no other side. Because in business, everybody's friends to a certain extent. Where money is passed, everybody's friends. Does that mean that Manny Pacquiao is not a dignified man and a dignified fighter and legendary man fighter and all that stuff? No, of course not. But it does mean that, this perception people have that Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao hate each other's guts is false. It's complete and utter false. Floyd Mayweather gave hints at this years ago. He was calling Manny Pacquiao up to leave Bob Arum and become his own boss and work with Al Heyman years ago. Of course, on shows like All Access and interviews like, what the media puts out, Floyd dressed it up still as in the enemy style. But if you read between the lines, you tell me what enemy advises the other enemy to make money for himself and to do potentially better for himself. None. Real enemies are just that. Enemies. These two are not enemies. Now, are they competitive? Yes. Does Floyd believe that he was the man of that era? Yes. But I would expect that. They're competitors. Does Manny Pacquiao believe that his 8-division world titles and lineal championship records and stuff like that make him the best? Yes, he does. But trust me, believing you're the best does not mean you hate someone else. This Pacquiao and Mayweather thing is the same as Wilder and Fury right now. No different. Don't kid yourself. Floyd will say things in the build-up if the rematch happens that you guys will once again get angry about, but it's all show. It's all show. When Floyd is doing his act, you can see Manny at that gathering, at that concert recently, laughing his head off. In fact, I'm sure Manny missed a cue to say a line. He's laughing at Floyd the same way he laughs at Stephen A. Smith. He finds them both hilarious, and when they see Manny laugh, they ham it up even more. Right? These two guys, and I did see a clip of the two of them when they were off. Well, it was supposed to be off camera, but it was taken down very quick. I'm talking very quick. And Manny was giggling and sort of tapping on Floyd, and Floyd was hamming up, sort of parodying himself, making a parody of the Mayweather carry on. And Manny was laughing his head off. Why? These guys are going to make each other $100 million. $100 million. Floyd Mayweather is very happy that Manny Pacquiao was of this time. Trust me on that. Trust me. I've seen Floyd Mayweather say real respectful things until he realises, oh no, I've dropped the money team persona. But he's called Manny Pacquiao a legend numerous times. He's called Manny Pacquiao the next best thing to himself, a legend. He even tore Gennady Golovkin apart for not going up in weight classes and saying legendary fighters like Manny Pacquiao go up in weight classes. And then you start to think, come on, Floyd, are you a hiding pactard? I don't blame you if you're a pactard, if you just made the biggest fight in history 3 years ago with this guy. And I don't blame Manny because Manny Pacquiao is considered very charitable. I don't blame Manny Pacquiao if he does think Floyd Mayweather is God sent, because Floyd Mayweather will produce that money for Manny Pacquiao to give to his nation and to his people that he likes to serve. And I do believe there is a sense of honesty with Manny that way. But the hate, do I think Manny Pacquiao would go out in this rematch and try? Of course he's going to try and win because he's a competitor, and so is Mayweather. So they're going to do great numbers if this rematch happens. Again, it will beat Golovkin Canelo too. You're talking 2 million, at least, pay-per-view sales in the States at $100 a pop. Conor McGregor recently did that number with this, the other guy. And you have to remember, that's sold at $30. These two guys can sell pay-per-view at a lot dearer than that. They're bigger names. Despite what you think about Conor McGregor, Pacquiao and Mayweather are still the premier names in combat sports. They'll prove it. That fight is signed. There are rumours that Manny Pacquiao could face Adrian the Problem Broner. If Manny Pacquiao gets through that fight, which I'm tipping him to do so, you watch. They'll prove it again. They'll prove it again. The myth for Conor McGregor is gone. Floyd could not sell that trap again. But even though he feels he won that fight so clear, Floyd Mayweather, the first fight, he knows Manny Pacquiao's brand does not fall if he takes a loss. Manny Pacquiao, some people argue that some other fighters did better v Floyd than Manny. But still, this rematch is sellable because, first of all, you've got Pacquiao and you've got half of Asia and the world behind him. You've got Floyd likewise, right? In a maybe different way. As I've said, good and bad sells in boxing. Goody bad guy sells, right? And sometimes a transcending baddie into someone else makes an interesting twist, and that sells. So you've got the yin and the yang, right? In promotional terms, anyway. And it's all done by Al Heyman now. Manny Pacquiao is his fighter too. This is going to be so much easier. And they're going to do well at the gate. And they're going to do well at short circuit. Listen to what I'm saying. Do I really want to see the fight? No. I'm more interested in Pacquiao Broner. Because, I just feel there'd be more action there. I just felt that Manny Pacquiao Amir Khan would have been full of more action. But still, the casual people of the world of boxing love these two guys. They are first rate. Terence Crawford said Manny Pacquiao is not a champion. Well, you've just ripped the word champion away from Rocky Fielding, who was going to fight Canelo Alvarez at 168 pounds. Terence has got to realise something. Belts matter to get you to a certain stage. Manny has gone beyond that stage. Manny has gone beyond the stage that Terence Crawford still needs to get to. He's beaten names that Terence Crawford could only dream of. He's achieved things in boxing that Terence Crawford at 31 and Manny at 31 had achieved much, much more. Right? Saying all of this stuff, you've got the WBA regular title and I'm a real champion. Do you really think that Manny Pacquiao, with guys like Floyd Mayweather, Adrian Broner, Amir Khan, all lining up to fight him, gives a damn? They're all bigger names than the guys Terence Crawford's facing. Let's put it that way. Amir Khan, if he fought Crawford, and I'd favour Crawford to win, because I think Crawford's a wonderful fighter. The best guy not named Lomachenko in boxing, right? But if he got in there with Amir Khan, I would favour him to beat Amir Khan, but that would be Terence Crawford's biggest ever fight. No doubt. If Terence Crawford got in there with Adrian the Problem Broner, in terms of commercialism, publicity and so forth, that would be Terence Crawford's biggest fight. If he got in there with Mayweather, of course, bar none, that would be his biggest fight. And if he would have got the Manny Pacquiao fight, also that would have been his biggest fight. Now Manny's still fighting these guys, the big names. Lucas Matisse is a bigger name than anything Terence Crawford's ever fought. Anything. The big name really is Jeff Horn, but Jeff Horn got that big name once he met Manny Pacquiao. Now, for Terence Crawford to say Manny isn't a champion, well, are you really a champion? Because you beat Jeff Horn, who I don't consider the real champion, because Manny beat him. So you beat the man who got a gift. So therefore, that WBO title you're carrying is a gift, right? Not saying that you are not capable of being the best welterweight in the world. I think you are, Terence. But make no mistake, if you're Manny Pacquiao beat Lucas Matisse for that title, okay, it's not the super title, but Lucas Matisse, by knockout, got that title fair and square. Pacquiao was robbed by Jeff Horn, and then you fought the WBO robber champion and beat him. Manny Pacquiao is still the WBO champion. Really. He is. You got it off false pretenses. You got it off a man that was outlanded time and time again, and his own, his own corner and officials were thinking of pulling him out. It was a 10-8 round, that. Manny Pacquiao really did damage to Jeff Horn as well. Damage that you could perceive as softening up Jeff Horn for you. Think about it, dude. You would beat, in my opinion, Manny Pacquiao right now. You would beat anyone in boxing right now within that weight range. Including, I believe, Mayweather. Maybe, if age has got to Floyd. But don't kid yourself, kiddo. Those guys have worn the stripes. Look at the names on their resume. And look at yours. You need them. You need Manny Pacquiao more than Manny Pacquiao would ever need you. And this is a 40-year-old Manny Pacquiao, bucko. He is still more famous with the casuals, and I don't think you'll ever get there. You will go down as a terrific fighter, but you just don't have that stardom, that stardust that Manny Pacquiao had, or what Floyd Mayweather had in their own ways, or Oscar De La Hoya, and so forth. It's just not there with the bud. The class is there. But if the money is not there, a legendary 40-year-old fighter is not going to go looking for you. And telling him he's not a champion is not going to goad him either. You think you're really going to upset Manny Pacquiao by telling him, you've only got the regular title, you know. I've got your belt, you know. And Manny's thinking, yeah, you have, actually, and you didn't beat anyone for it. So, back to the Al Heyman stuff. Crawford says what he says. This is not a rip on Terence Crawford, but Terence Crawford now has to make his own Legendary fights. He has to fight his equivalent of Miguel Cotto. Thurman, Spence, Porter. Get in with them guys. Fight your version of Antonio Margarito. You know, stepping up in weight to fight that kid that knocked out Liam Smith, the Mexican kid. That's sort of the Margarito now. Get in there with him, right? Who else? I mean, Marquez. Get in there with Danny Garcia. You see what I'm saying? These names you're fighting, bud, are very good fighters. But to go on to the Pacquiao Mayweather stratosphere in resume, at least you have to fight Thurman, Porter, Spence, Errol Spence, has to be done. These are the names now. These are the names. If you fight them and beat them, you're on the right road, son. You're on the right road. You are travelling then steadfast. But when you're talking about Marco Antonio Barrera, Eric Morales, 111 Marquez, Ricky Hatton, Miguel Cotto, Timothy Bradley, I forgot to mention him. There's not one fighter on your resume that's better than those guys. In fact, they're worse. Every last one of them is worse. Right? Those guys, when Manny fought them, were all better than everything you've faced so far. Could you beat those guys that Manny beat? Well, that's to be proven. I would say, yes, you have a very good chance. But I haven't seen you do it. And this fight at the weekend, you've got Terence. Good stuff. Good stuff. Not groundbreaking. Nothing groundbreaking. You are never in a situation where people say your back's up against the wall and come through it. Manny Pacquiao's done that in his career. So he's not really worried that you don't consider him a champion, because champions are just more than belt holders. Champions are those that have come through tasks against guys they're unfavoured to beat and found a way to do it. Pacquiao's done it. Multiple occasions. Broke records. You might retire undefeated, Terence, but there's been fighters that's done that. Been there. Pacquiao has 60 wins. Should be more. Could arguably be 62 wins. There were 2 robberies in there, wasn't there? And as I said, the record-breaking weight divisions. 5 more weight classes, Terence, and you're there. You've equalled him. You know. So, it's all friends in business. Like I say. It's all buddy chums. Floyd and Manny Pacquiao, I believe, you know, could have a match. Could have a rematch. It's easy to sign, both on the same stable. And I'm repeating myself, but, you know, repetition is the mother of skill. I said in my last video, didn't I, about this subject, that you never know. If Floyd's legs don't move, my God, then it's a fight. But at this point, until I see Floyd Mayweather looking really deteriorated, I can't go beyond my pick of Floyd to win the rematch. Because sometimes styles really do make fights. I had the presumption a few years ago that Pacquiao, style-wise, had the advantage over Mayweather. It turned out on the night, it was very much the other way around. That's if, and this is a selling point, that's if the shoulder injury was true, right? If you're considering that shoulder injury a fact, Manny might have another dimension if his shoulder is healed for the rematch. This is a selling point that Floyd is going to use. Watch what he did in Tokyo. When Manny said, I've got the belt, Floyd said, yeah, I hope you've got your shoulder. He's already trying to promote the fact that when this event could happen, he's going to say, I'm going to prove that I'm going to beat the real Manny Pacquiao. The Manny Pacquiao who is in the best condition possible. In the first fight, I gave Manny Pacquiao the benefit of the doubt, blah, blah, blah. Now he's got his chance, and if I come out victorious, then I'll prove to the world that TBE really is TBE. You can see it. You can see it. And Floyd is going to say he's lost a step or two, so Manny Pacquiao will be able to close the space down more. And Manny Pacquiao's been the active fighter. I've only had one tune-up in a few years. Oh my God, Manny's going to knock me out. Floyd's going to say all this stuff, and all of us lot are going to go, hey, I think I'll, order. Of course we'll watch it. I mean, you're not going to sit there picking your nose, are you, instead of watching two legendary boxers? Even if the styles don't gel, which I'm going to say something right now. These styles don't gel. Pacquiao and Mayweather's styles will never make for a great fight, in my opinion. They're just too fast and too sort of positional fighters all over the place to a certain extent. You watched, they could hardly hit each other in that first fight. Floyd Mayweather, right? He said, and people laughed at the time, but it's true. He said Manny Pacquiao was nowhere near as reckless as he thought he was, and Manny Pacquiao was a very smart fighter. And everybody was laughing like, what are you talking about, Floyd? You're just saying this now because the event... So, he was right. Floyd looked at Manny and thought, he's harder to hit than I thought he was. He landed enough to get the result. But let me put it this way. Manny Pacquiao was harder for Floyd to hit than, say, Robert Guerrero and Canelo was, by far, right? The right hand, Manny sort of did evade on many occasions. So therefore, if Manny Pacquiao, Floyd is supposed to be avoiding the punches, and Floyd avoids the punches, so if Pacquiao then's avoiding the punches, you've got a very dull occasion. You see what I'm saying? This is why, style-wise, it doesn't work. But because these guys are casual people's dreams, and boxing fans respect them too, it'll sell. And they're going to sell it to us like it's going to be a great fight, but I have a feeling it won't be. Right? I have a feeling the Adrian Broner-Pacquiao fight will be better. I know Count Pacquiao would have definitely been better. To be absolutely honest with you, Floyd is a winner. There's no doubt about it. He is a winner. And his personality is box office. Tyson Fury has nothing on him. Conor McGregor has nothing on the guy. Right? Nothing. But the two guys, I'm more interested in seeing Pacquiao fight certain fighters. But I'm not interested, really. If Floyd says, I'm done and I'm never fighting again, I respect his achievements, but it's something I don't miss. Do you know what I mean? Pacquiao's fights are just better to watch. Whether he dominates or it's competitive or whatever, it's just more fun to watch. But as I said, Floyd makes up for that stuff by being this WWE character. Brings us on swiftly to Tyson Fury. This is where I think I'm going to end this video, because I've already been yapping for nearly 24 minutes. Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. I disagree with these people that say Tyson Fury is getting in Deontay Wilder's head. I don't agree. I think Deontay Wilder is holding his own. And again, these two are friends. And Tyson Fury, in that face-off, I think he thought he would get to Deontay Wilder a little bit more than he did, and he didn't. Because Deontay Wilder loves to put on a persona and loves to have an alter ego called Bronze Bomber, that does not mean that Tyson Fury has got an edge. It doesn't. Sometimes people need to change in certain situations. Let me give you an example. When you go out on a Friday night and get absolutely drunk, that's the real you letting your hair down. Are you telling me on Monday morning when you go to a job interview that you're going to behave like that in front of an interviewer or a potential employer? No, you don't. You put on an act. You sort of not your honest self. You put on an alter ego that is the best of yourself. You even can tell them things that are true but sort of stretched. Do you know what I mean? And Deontay Wilder does that. Floyd Mayweather does that. So for Tyson Fury to be saying, oh, you're weak because you've an alter ego, try telling Floyd Mayweather he's weak. Being the money Mayweather guy. Being the pretty boy. Floyd does not care. It's entertainment. Bronze Bomber is the entertainer. Deontay Wilder outside the ring could be a different man. Do you really think Tyson Fury at home is saying to his family at 100 miles an hour the stuff that he says to his opponent? No, Tyson Fury's a father. He's a husband. He can't be talking that smack, that trash talk 24/7. So the Tyson Fury we see is also an alter ego. Don't kid yourself. I'm hearing a few boxing channels saying Tyson Fury's got this psychological edge, that psychological edge, etc. Yes, he is a better talker for us, the listeners. Yes, he does win press conferences. Yes, he wins the battle of the trash talk. But they don't win fights. What happens in the ring wins fights. Tyson Fury to us is box office when he's on the microphone. A little bit like me. No, joking. But you see what I'm saying. But for people to think that, experienced boxers always fall for this stuff is untrue. Because in boxing, it's expect the unexpected. He said he's already beaten Deontay Wilder in Germany, as though he was talking about Deontay Wilder as Vladimir Klitschko in another form. No, that's not the case. Deontay Wilder fights nothing like Vladimir Klitschko. Does not. It's just different. Tyson Fury is the more rounded, skilled boxer. But does that always matter in the heavyweight division? No, because a punch can change the fight. And who has the bigger punches in this fight? The alter ego man, Deontay Wilder. Tyson Fury defends and escapes at strange angles. But this is a guy that throws punches from very strange angles. Unorthodox to a T. So much so it gets criticised, but it could still work because although it's hard to time a shot to hit Tyson Fury for the textbook fighter, it might not be for a guy that is, so sort of windmill, as they say. So Tyson Fury will have to read where Deontay Wilder's strange shots are coming from. Is Marcus Maidana, for instance, a better boxer than Canelo Alvarez? No, not in the textbook. But he did better against Mayweather because Marcus Maidana throws strange punches from weird places that you can't read, textbook style. And Floyd took a few rounds to adjust to that. If that's Deontay Wilder, you're asleep. So do you see what I'm saying? An Olympic background, a great amateur background, could sometimes be equalised by things you can't read and power you've never felt before. So keep these things in mind. Neither guy is intimidated by the other, I don't think. I don't really think that goes on in boxing. I think these situations are always about money and preserving something. But you've got to understand, if Tyson Fury was getting to a Deontay Wilder, Deontay Wilder will adjust the more these press conferences carry on because he'll be getting used to Tyson Fury's antics. He knows them now. He's shown his cards. Lennox Lewis used to lose every single stare down, but he sort of didn't care. That side of the equation in boxing used to sort of make Lennox Lewis giggle. If you listen to Mike Tyson talk and you listen to Lennox Lewis talk, you would think Mike Tyson beats Lennox Lewis in 2 minutes. But when the bell rang, it's time for real action now, guys. You know, things didn't go that well for Mike. You would have thought in the press conference when Frank Bruno was sort of talking smack to Lennox Lewis that Big Frank was going to pull the upset off. He got knocked out. Because Lennox Lewis, it's not so much that he loses battles of trash talk and so forth. He just sat there, you know, letting the world go by, laughing at the guys. Letting them do the promotion. Thank you very much. Cheers, boys. Now I'm going to take your head off and your titles with it. Listen to Michael Grant before his fight with Lennox Lewis. I'm going to pray for you and all this lot. Lennox Lewis put him in heaven for a few seconds in that fight. The only one in that contest when the bell rang that needed prayers was Michael Grant. So, of course, Tyson Fury is a terrific talent with it. He's got unorthodox stuff and speed and foot speed and defense. But I'm not having it. He told, you know, on BT Sports, he said he's the defensive version in the heavyweight division of Floyd Mayweather. He's not. He is not. He's far more vulnerable than Floyd Mayweather. He's not fought a fraction of the talent that Floyd Mayweather's fought. Let's just... That's a sales pitch again. Comparing yourself with another, you know, all-time great. Not saying Tyson Fury's an all-time great. He's not to me yet. But throwing in an all-time great like Floyd Mayweather helps sell you because people think, oh yeah, wow, if he's got Floyd's defense, Britain's going to see a new world champion again. Yeah, folks, but he's not Floyd Mayweather defensively. He's good, but the standards are a little lower. I mean, maybe Deontay Wilder is not the level of Floyd's opponents. So Tyson Fury may look like Floyd Mayweather defensively. But make no mistake, that's salesmanship again, right? He is not Floyd Mayweather. He's beat Klitschko. He's beat Derek Chisora. Now, Floyd Mayweather has beaten countless guys better, much better than Derek Chisora and Klitschko. Because Klitschko was dominating a heavyweight era that didn't have Lennox Lewis, Evander Holyfield, Mike Tyson, Riddick Bowe in it, and so forth. Tony Tucker and all those guys. You know, Ray Mercer even. They were not in Klitschko's era, right? So he beat that guy. You know, Floyd Mayweather's beat a guy that has beaten 19 world champions in Pacquiao. 6th division world champion in Oscar De La Hoya. It's a different stage. Ricky Hatton, 2-weight world champion. The dominant 140-pounder of his time. I could go on. Tyson Fury's not faced that level. He never will. It's not there. Not in that division right now. So you got to think about these things. And put it in perspective. And sort of understand that this is the entertainment industry. As well as competitive sports. Terence Crawford, for me, will win this weekend. I think he's too sharp, too slick. The ring IQ is fantastic. He's a very accurate fighter. Loves to engage at times too. So that makes him, you know, great to watch. And also, when he wants, can have a great defense. And a good jab. He's a great sharpshooter, Terence Crawford. And the foot speed, either when he wants to land something or avoid something, is all there. This fella has not faced anything like it. I think Terence Crawford is going to make him look slow. And I think that Terence Crawford is going to stop this guy around 8 to 10 rounds, similar to the way he did Jeff Horn. Because when this guy gets behind, he's going to get reckless. And then when you get reckless, Terence has all the capabilities of picking you off big style. And he can hit you in multiple shots. And he is more powerful than people think. Terence Crawford is more of a pop than people think. And remember this. Did he not look physically stronger at welterweight against Jeff Horn? I thought Terence Crawford would beat Jeff Horn. But I thought it would be a bit more difficult for him because of Jeff Horn's physiology and strength and size, and the fact that Jeff Horn really is. And I know I said things about him earlier, but he's a better fighter than people give him credit for. But the size did not matter because Terence Crawford, once he put those extra calories in that body of his and didn't have to knock himself down to 140 pounds, was physically stronger than ever before. And was kind of roughing Jeff Horn up and throwing Jeff Horn around the ring. And looked the stronger man when both combatants clinched. Remember that. Crawford now is where he needs to be at the welterweight division. This is his division. This is his division. And I think he'll be better for it. Rehydrating right. The right calories gives him more snap, more physical strength. Some fighters improve as they go up in weight. I think Bud Crawford is becoming one of them. So that's me, 36 minutes of, nonsense. No, I'm joking. Anyway, guys, I'm going to let you go. I just had to get all this off my chest. So it's a win for Bud Crawford. Pacquiao is a champion no matter how you read it. Even though you rate the regular, the icon himself is the champion. Al Heyman and Manny Pacquiao and Floyd, they all get along because when you're earning money from people, even though you may want to beat them, can you ever really hate them? Let me say this before I go. Another example. Do you know when Rangers Football Club in Scotland went into administration? There's a long history between them and Celtic FC. Celtic are supposed to hate Rangers. But you know the biggest revenue for a game in Scotland is when these two play each other. So the team that voted for Rangers to survive in football was Celtic. They're bad rivals. There's been blood spilt over these two. But when it come to, oh no, if Rangers are gone, our big money's gone. They stuck up for Rangers Celtic. They got behind the enemy. And the enemy is back in the Scottish League. And that big game is still there. Same with Liverpool and Manchester United. You know what I'm saying. This is Champions of Champions Boxing Talk. I'm out.